Hello there. Thanks for tuning in. I'm gonna try to get right to it, get in, share a few things, get out, and call it a day, right? Hope everyone is having a good day. You know I always get dry throat. Alabama Cup there. I'm from Alabama. That is sweet tea for anybody who's wondering. Okay. Talk to you about a few things, share a few things. If you've been watching me, right? I'm always saying you should get, linked up with somebody who could bring, day-to-day news to you, day-to-day financial news, day-to-day political news. These things, they can factor into your decision making for that day, for that week, whatever your strategy, whatever your plan is in the process of growing your wealth, what have you. You got to have a plan. You got to have a strategy. You got to have some kind of angle that you utilize to grow your wealth, right? So anyway, I'm always talking about Larry Jones. Larry Jones is my go-to guy. Larry Jones bring you all kind of information. The guy, hey man, he just does this full time, right? He does growing his wealth full time. Excuse me. He grows. He does sharing knowledge with you to better understand the market, to better make decisions in your portfolio, in your buying, selling, investing, trading, whatever it is you're doing to grow your wealth. Larry Jones shares a lot of knowledge on a almost daily basis, right? I talk about Jasper Racine. His page is The Minority Mindset, I do believe. And he has a free newsletter, brief, where he shares daily financial news, political news with you. And it's free. It's an email come to your inbox every day, right? So you can sign up for that. Larry Jones also has a class that he teaches how to understand the market, how to make sound decisions, right? He has the Stock Squad. They have a Discord, right? Larry Jones has his own Discord on WUMP. I talk about Stocks with Josh. Stocks with Josh has his own Discord. I talk about Keenan Grace. Keenan Grace has his own Discord. I talk about Stock Mo. If you're ready to change the channel, hey, if you follow me, hopefully you're listening, hopefully you're taking notes. Go back, play it again, click the bottom, you can pull up the transcript, right? Chris Sane, right? And the list goes on and on and on. But you need to be linked up with somebody who's bringing the news to you. What I try to do is I try to keep you motivated. I try to keep you in the game, get you in the game, and then share some tidbits, right? So in the process of what I wanted to come on to do today, share a few tidbits. Just like when I be talking to some of the guys around work and the guys that I know, I mentor some folks in the market and I continue to talk to them on a daily basis, letting them know what's going on, letting them know what I'm doing, what I've bought, what I've sold, what I'm holding, and what have you. So I'm gonna try to share a few things with you. Let's see here. Let me pull up, I wanna pull up Robinhood as I touch base on some of these, there we go, on some of these stocks and cryptos I wanna talk to you about. And this is a little bit different from when there we go, from when on the phone. It's a little bit different on the computer. So I want to talk about NVTS, right? NVTS. Everybody, well, not everybody, but a lot of folks who have been talking about that for a while. So the ticker symbol is NVTS. The name of the company is, if I'm saying this right, Navitas Semiconductor. We hear that word semiconductor, so we know it's a computer chip company, right? So let me say a little bit about the company. NVTS Semiconductor Corporation engages in the development of ultra-efficient gallium nitride semiconductors, GaN. It's GaN power ICS integrate GaN power with drive, control, and protection to enable charging, power density. It's just telling you about the company, right? So it is a computer company. It's a computer chip company. I believe NVIDIA got tied up with this. you got to go do your own research. I just want to bring it to your attention. Right now, this stock is sitting at $8.78, right? If you follow Chris Sane is saying how he believes this is going to $20, right? I got into this about a couple of weeks ago. I got in, my average cost is $6.50, right? And you know, I dropped a few dollars in it. I was DCAing, and so I dropped a few dollars, dropped a few more dollars. I was averaging up. I think I had probably about 1,500 in my position in a matter of weeks, right? And so at 650, before I sold a portion of my position, right? You know, it was up nicely. It was up nicely, and I could have left it in there, but with this, I will do multiple things with it. I will always maintain a decent size position, more than what I want to have. I always want to have at least $1,000 in it out of my own pocket, right? And so I had a little bit more than that, and that is a nice profit. And there were other buying opportunities and other things, right? So and I'm not even talking about those other things today, but you know, there is several Bitcoin ETF out there, right? The one I like is BITO, right? ProShare, whatever. The ticker symbol is BITO, BITO, right? And a friend of mine had got into that over a year ago, and it has done him extremely well. So I've been in it probably about 7 or 8 months. I've DCA'd in, and I have a nice size position, and I'm up nicely, right? And I just continue to pick up more shares, and I do it from gains, from plays that I get in and out of, right? So we talked about MVTS, we talked about BITO, right? There are some Ethereum ETFs. There are two that I like. I like the ticker symbol ETH, and I like ticker symbol ETHE, right? Do your own research, check them out. You know, Ethereum has been running nicely, right? And since Ethereum has been running nicely, the stock has run nicely. What do I mean nicely? I got in my Ethereum, both of them, one around 17. I got in one around 17. I got in the other around 19. And they both have been up around between $28 to $35 since Ethereum has been running. We know Bitcoin has been running for a while now, so my Bitcoin has been running. My Bitcoin average price is around $17, and it's been up 20 something dollars. If it's been in 30, I can't recall. I don't follow it that much. It's in my 401k, and I just buy it with gains. I just continually buy it, right? Don't plan on needing that for a long time from now. So anyway, I am this thing is moving. 8 minutes in. I wanted to be done in 10 minutes, so let me see if I can share a few more. Ticker symbol CRWV. I know that's CoreWeave. Larry and others have been talking about that. Let's see here. I'm not the best typist, you know. CoreWeave. So it is CoreWeave. So CoreWeave is jump down. Let's see. CoreWeave is a cloud infrastructure company that provides high performance computing resources optimized for workloads such as artificial intelligence, AI, machine learning, visual effects, and batch processing. And there's more information there, but CoreWeave, from what I read, HPC, high performance. I know what that is. I support that at work, right? So it's computers and it's chips and what have you. It's something you want to be a part of. It's tied to AI. It's tied to high performance computing. When I think of high performance computing, I think of AI and all what's been going on with AI lately. If you haven't had your head in the sand, you know AI has really been taking off, and it has a long way to go over the next 5 to 10 years. Quantum computing. When I think of high performance computing, I think of quantum computing. When I see AI and all of the rest of high performance, then AI and quantum computing comes to mind. If you don't know about AI and quantum computing in this day and time in the stock market and in the crypto market, then you need to go do some research, right? I read an article, I saw an article, and I heard an article talking about trying to catch the next Amazon, or trying to catch the next Google, trying to catch the next Nvidia. Doesn't matter where you can catch the next Google, Amazon, Nvidia, Bitcoin, what have you. What matters is you do your research and you figure out what the world is going to need, what the world is going to want over the next 2 to 5 to 10 years. And that should be you pick one or two stock that you can start DCAing into small amounts, right? So you might have your own 5 to 10 priority stocks that you're building for the very near future, right? You may have your crypto that you're building for the very near future, right? You should have 1 to 5 cryptos that you're building for long-term hold. You should have 1 to 5 stocks that you're building for long-term hold. You should have a solid basis of your stock. You should have a solid basis ETF as the basis of your portfolio. Now, if you're just starting, you don't have tons of money to, I don't think you would have tons of money to put into ETFs to become your foundation. But you want to start building one as your foundation, right? I normally my go-to was VOO, right? It's a ETF that tracks the top 500 stocks across the entire stock market. So VOO was my main one that I was using, but I was doing VTO, I was doing VOO, I was doing VTI. VTI is Vanguard's the total stock market ETF, right? Total stock market don't mean every single stock. It means being in every single commodity that makes up the stock market. I do believe I'm getting that right. So I was loving VOO and VTI. Some folks say that's overkill. You don't need them both. Well, to each his own, right? That is one argument, right? But I had liked both of them, right? VTI is always cheaper than VOO. And I was liking VOO because in my mind it was the bigger boy. And all of a sudden my small VTI position was neck and neck. And then after the stock market crash, I believe after Liberation Day, it soared ahead. And I just began to think with a different brain, and that brain was, my average VTI cost was low twos. And, it goes up year over year. So my bottom line is VTI is at a smaller cost than VOO. I can build a larger position because I mainly buy it from my gains, right? And a little bit of small DCA and a portion of my gains when I'm into plays, when I'm into options and what have you. I said that to say, in my opinion, VTI would be the better thing to build your foundation of your portfolio with. You can get it's easier to build a fatter position of VTI than it is VOO, in my opinion. It depends on what your pockets are looking like. So I said that to say, I talked about the ETF as the foundation. Your foundation, you want to eventually make your ETF a strong position that's valued to 50% of your overall portfolio. Needed to put that out there. Okay, moving on. Moving on. I wanted to touch bases on the CoreWeave right now is 115, right? CoreWeave has been as high in the last 52 weeks. Where's my stats? Oh, I'm trying to hurry up and get out of here. CoreWeave high today is 120. And its 52-week high is $187. And a lot of my mentors, Larry Jones, Stocks with Josh, Keenan, Grace, Chris Sain, and others, are saying, as to why they believe this thing is going to bounce back to that 187 and probably beyond over the next however amount of time. So I'm not a financial advisor. I'm just sharing with you tips to help you better navigate the market, right? So the next one I wanted to touch bases with is ENPH. When I got into when the market had crashed, I believe around Liberation Day, a little bit before that. Anyway, so Enphase, ENPH is Enphase Energy. So it's an energy company. I'm not going to even read about the company. It's an energy company, right? And so that low in the last 52 weeks has been $33. Right now it's sitting at $35.42. Its 52-week high is $130, right? I can't guarantee this is going back to $130, but as an energy company, when things level off in the market, I just believe, based on my own personal research, that it's going to soar beyond the 30s, and there's just there's nice room for growth there. So my average cost right now is $39. I just keep DCA in. So that's what I'm doing with that. CMG. Yeah, CMG. I don't even need to click on it, but I'm gonna go ahead and do that. CMG, for those who don't know, is Chipotle. I'm not gonna get started talking about Chipotle because I've mentioned it a time or two before. Chipotle has been amazing in my eyes, in my own personal research from the time when I got in this game in 2020. Chipotle has been amazing. For those who don't know, Chipotle did a split, I think a little bit over a year ago, somewhere thereby, and the split was 50-1, right? At the time of the split, Chipotle stock was sitting around $1,750 a share, right? So no guarantee is going back there, but I can guarantee, I can give you any guarantees. In my personal opinion and in my own personal research, I believe it's going to do great things over the next year or two. So I just DCA in, right? And so I'm not going to say no more about Chipotle. Right now it's $46.72. Do your own research on Chipotle, right? Do your own research on Chipotle. I myself happen to love it. There is a penny stock. Excuse me, there's a penny stock, IXHL. IXHL. There's a young man named Stock Brother. He has made a lot of money off of that. He's been talking about it. Enter in at your own risk. You know, it's a penny stock. It goes up fast and it falls fast. I made a little money off of it, and I know I was late to the party, and I dropped some money in it, and it ran a little, and I just took my profits because I don't. Certain things I play with, certain things I don't. I didn't know much about the company, didn't do a lot of research off the company. People I follow was talking heavily about it, and I was listening to the windows, the entry windows, the exit windows, and I seen it at a price where it was like mid-range between the entry window, and I decided that I would get it and see what it would do for me. I would watch it closely, and it made me some money. I took that money and took the gains and put it into my positions that I really like, right? That I really favor. I talked about VTI VOO as I get ready to wrap up. Virtual Protocol is a crypto stock, is a crypto that I happen to like. Do your own research, right? HBAR, I've talked about that, and so many people are talking, wow, 19 minutes, I really need to get out of here. So some cryptos to put on your radar: Virtual Protocol, HBAR, and number 1, 2, and 3, Bitcoin, Ethereum, and XRP. If you don't know about crypto winter, then and you need to research it. Crypto. I'm sorry, I said crypto. The Bitcoin halving process. If you look up the Bitcoin halving process, it should tell you about Bitcoin winter and what have you, and what happens after the Bitcoin halving and the window of that. What I call what happens after Bitcoin halving, which happens every 4 years. You have run-up season. Run-up season lasts anywhere from 12 months to 18 months, right? And so the last one was like April 29 of 2024. So reality-wise, we have to like October, but nothing has been normal this Bitcoin halving process. We had all the ETFs take off, the Bitcoin ETF, the Ethereum ETF, the XRP ETF, and there are more coming down the pipeline. So, do your own research. Do your own research. A lot of cryptos that it doesn't have an ETF tied to them, 9 times out of 10, my time frame would be somewhere between October and the end of the year to be out of those cryptos, right? So, see profit, take profit. I can go on and on, but I need to end this thing here. Be safe with your money. It's all about making money and growing your wealth, right? If you make profit into something that's iffy, that's a play. When I say play, it's not a long-term hold. If you make money in it, be happy with the money you made. Sell it, put it into your long-term hold position. Long-term hold cryptos would be Bitcoin and Ethereum, right? And XRP, right? Long-term stock hold would be NVTS. I expect to hold on to it for like 2 years, but I also carry enough that I could trade, right? Same thing with CoreWeave. Same thing with ENPH, Enphase Energy. Same thing with Chipotle, right? And then we talked about VOO, VTI, whichever one floats your boat, or both. I love what Keaton Grace has been saying. Why limit yourself to one or the other when it comes to stock and or crypto? Why not one and the other? But you have to find it to fit your pockets, to fit your budget. I'm going to have to cut it off here. Didn't plan to go that long. I'm talking faster and faster. I got to get out of here. Hopefully I haven't talked your head off. Hopefully I've said something you can use. My intent is always to bring you some juicy meat, some juicy info to get you stirred up into getting back to the market to continue to grow your wealth, my friend. So you guys take care. Have yourself an awesome day. And be blessed continually, my friend.